Nick Rudder from McKee's37.com. In this video, I'm going to showcase every single wheel and tire brush sold at McKee's37.com, the pros, the cons, along with a list of recommendations based on different wheel types on which brushes that I think would work best for your application. That'll be towards the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned. Now, before I even jump into this, click subscribe. I release videos like this all the time, so click subscribe. It's down below. It just takes 2 seconds. I'd really appreciate it. All right, so first and foremost, all the brushes that we sell at McKee's37.com are the best of the best. They are far higher quality than anything you'll find at your local auto parts store or big box retailer. So, like anything else at McKee's37.com, you get what you pay for. All right, starting with the Easy Detail brush. They have a large one and a small one. These are made in USA. They're awesome brushes. They have these soft nylon and Nylex bristles that have a memory design, so when they're compressed, they bounce back to life. Every so often, someone will call me and say, "Nick, you shipped me my brush and the bristles are smashed. Send me a new one." And I respond, I say, "Hey, listen, I'm sorry about that. It's kind of common with these brushes. Soak it in a bucket of water, they'll come back to life." Now with these brushes, these are designed to clean the barrel of the wheel. That's behind the face of the wheel. So if you got a sports car or even a modern day vehicle that has big wheels and you can see the barrel, which gets the dirtiest, these brushes are great. And the bristles collapse down so you can get in really tight spots in between like the barrel and the brake caliper, for example. You know, if you got a Camaro or a Mustang or a Corvette that has really nice painted calipers, man, these get in there and they clean it up really nice. And they also clean in between the spokes. For example, like on a Toyota Prius, the little Easy Detail brush, I love how it gets in there in between the spokes and it cleans it extremely well. It compresses down. It just makes for a perfect brush. You know, sometimes people say, well, what, should I get this size? Should I get this size? Get them both, okay? Get them both. These are awesome brushes made in the USA. And coolest feature of all is that they bend like that. So you can get in behind the spokes and really get a squeaky clean finish. Now I gotta be realistic. I'm known for my honesty in these videos. These brushes do have a con. If you are someone that is overly caffeinated, or if you try and rush to clean your wheels and tires, as you're scrubbing like this really fast, what'll happen is these bristles, they might splatter some of the wheel cleaner at you. If you take your time, and if you lower your caffeine intake, maybe less visits to Starbucks or try the decaf version, that's not gonna be an issue. One feature I love is the knuckle guard to keep your knuckles protected, the wooden handle, along with the hole cut out so you can put a nail in your wall, hang this on the wall and let it drip dry. Awesome brushes, made in USA. Next up, the wheel woolies from Braun Brush. These are awesome. We sell a couple different varieties. I'm mainly focusing on the 3-piece kit sold at McKee's37.com. They have a wheel spoke brush as well, but those are not as popular. The 3-piece kit, these are awesome. They're worth every penny. Like the Easy Detail brush, they are made in the USA. And Braun Brush is a top-tier company. These have a lifetime performance guarantee. If you buy one of these and something happens to it, contact Braun Brush and they will personally send you a new brush. Awesome company. Now, the 3-piece kit, my main emphasis is on this guy right here because this is the one that I use the most. Like the Easy Detail brush, this is designed to get in between the spokes, although wider spokes compared to the Easy Detail, but also the barrel, so you can get in there and get the barrel. Now, earlier I mentioned the wheels on a Toyota Prius. I'm picking on this vehicle because for certain applications, like the smaller spokes, this brush works better. But for the larger wheel opening, this wheel woolies really gets in there. And it's got a real soft nylon bristle head. It's like a nice fuzzy fiber. You kind of want to put your head on it and use it as a pillow, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's safe for all wheel finishes, and it does a great job removing brake dust. Now, unlike the Easy Detail, this has a little bit of give, but it does not bend. That could be called a disadvantage compared to the Easy Detail. However, the fact that it does have more of a stiff handle, that allows maximum scrubbing. So if you're a professional detailer and you're cleaning someone's vehicle that has not been washed in months and the wheels are really bad, this will do a better job cleaning them. And then the various sizes allow you to get in the nooks and crannies and all the other hard to reach areas. Then, the barrel blade. This is a really unique brush. I don't use this one as much anymore, although it does have a loyal following. When I had a Volkswagen Jetta GLI, it had 18-inch gloss black wheels, and it had the performance brakes with the red calipers, and I found this brush to work the best to get in between the barrel and the actual caliper. The easy detail would work as well, but this guy, being rigid, although it does bend, which is nice, this guy would really get in there and it would scrub it clean, because I gotta tell you, those German cars, they make a ton of brake dust. However, this brush can be a little bit clunkier and it's a little bit heavier than the other two, but it's still an awesome brush. It's not my personal favorite, but I gotta tell you, when you need it, it's phenomenal. So if you detail for a living or if you have multiple cars, I'd still pick up one of these. You can actually replace this microfiber head. They sell separately. It's got a nice plastic handle that has these ribs on here so it doesn't slip out of your hands. And you can hang it on the wall, let it drip dry. Awesome brush, just again, not my personal favorite, but it's great to have in your arsenal. It's like that weird tool they don't really use too often, like a tie rod puller, right? You don't use a tie rod puller all the time unless you're a mechanic, but when you have it, boy, it's sweet to have, great quality. All right, so that's the brushes for the barrels of the wheels, which is, again, behind the face, and also to clean in between the spokes. What about the face of the wheel? Well, for that, back to Braun brush. They have the 20-inch Boars hair brush, and then the 9-inch Boars hair brush. These are identical, except for, well, the length. What's really cool about these brushes is that they have this natural hog hair, and these bristles are very soft. They're flagged at the tips, but they're also stout enough to where when you're cleaning the face of the wheel, it's not going to just, collapse. Like, I have really soft hair. I can never use the hair on my head to clean wheel brushes, even with lots of hairspray. But this guy, they pack in probably, I don't know, tens of thousands of Boars hair bristles to give you a nice firm area, but again, still very soft. So if you have a vehicle with painted wheels that are black, especially if you have black wheels, this is the brush to get. You cry once when you buy it. This is not a cheap brush, I'm warning you. However, it's a lot cheaper than having your wheel refinished because you decided to save a few bucks and go to the local auto parts store and buy a cheap nylon brush to clean your wheels on your new Corvette. So this is an investment, it's a tool. Spend the money the first time, get it out of the way. Again, lifetime performance guarantee. It has a molded handle that has this really cool texture here so it doesn't slip out of your hands. And there's two sizes. The long one is great if you got back problems or if you're just stiff in the morning. You don't have to bend over. The handle's long enough to where you can get down there while standing up to clean the wheel. This is also great for cleaning the fender liners too. And awesome, awesome, awesome brushes. I cannot speak highly enough of these. Now moving towards the more budget end for the face of the wheel. And that would be our tire and wheel brushes. You notice I'm saying tire and wheel, where this one is just a wheel. This is not that great for cleaning tires. The bristles are too soft. But here we have nylon bristles, and I have sold these two brushes for over 15 years. They're awesome, and every time I pick one up, I'm always impressed by just how well it works considering the great price that we sell these for. And they're both identical, except for the length. And it's not just like any nylon bristle brush like you find locally. It has these flag tips, and you can see the difference in color. It's a dark green here, and then it fades to a lighter green as the flagging process takes place to split these bristles. So very dense, but also soft enough to clean most OEM wheel finishes. I have featured this brush in a lot of videos. If you have a vehicle that's maybe, I don't know, 5-10 years old and it has like silver painted wheels or like a gray painted wheel, whatever it is, and you want to save some money, then get these. These are awesome. Or maybe if the wheel woollies brushes are not quite in your budget, you can still use these, but if you're driving a more expensive vehicle with painted black wheels, gloss black wheels or matte wheels, use these guys. But for everything else, these are great. They continue to impress me. And if you have a big truck or SUV, these also work great on larger tires. And like the wheel woolies brush, it has this molded handle that has this texture, so when your hands get all slippery from car wash soap, you don't have to worry about it sliding out of your hands. All right, next up, back to Braun brush. They have their 9-inch nylon brush for cleaning tires. This is not to be used on wheels. So this is nylon, but two very different nylon finishes. This is designed just for tires, and like the Boars hair 9-inch wheel brush, this has the molded handle. It's the same size, bristles are the same length. However, this guy, it's very stiff. These are very sharp. This is to get in there and clean all the browning and the old tire dressing off your tires. This works amazingly well when paired with McKee's 37 Tire and Rubber Rejuvenator. Awesome brush, and also too a great value considering it's part of the Wheel Woolies collection from Braun Brush. So use this for trucks and SUVs, but just the tires, not for your wheels. And then a brush that I use every time I wash my car or my wife's car is our low profile tire brush. These are great. We sell, I can't even tell you how many of these. They're inexpensive. Like the Wheel Woolies brush here, this has similar bristles, if not identical. They're black in color, and you can see they're shorter, so that gives you more scrubbing power. And it's a different design. It's much smaller because new cars, again, I'm gonna go back to the Prius. I'm gonna pick on that car. It has low profile tires. Almost all new cars do, even some SUVs. So you wanna have a brush that fits the tire, the sidewall, and it cleans off all the old tire gunk and the browning and the silicone dressings. Works great with Tire and Rubber Rejuvenator. We sell a ton of these. They're inexpensive. Has a nice handle. You can hang it on the wall so it dries, drips clean. Awesome brush. I'd probably pick up 2 of them. Just good to have a backup. And then, okay, we covered the barrel of the wheel, in between the spokes, the face of the wheel, the tire. Next up are the small intricate areas. We have 2 options. Braun Brush, you can tell they're an all-star in this field. They have the Wheel Woolies Detail Brush. This guy has real soft flagged hog hair bristles, just like this one. However, they're more stout, and they don't appear to be as flagged, and that's designed like this for a reason. So you can really get in there, like in your lug nuts, and also my favorite, along the rim of the wheel, where it meets the tire, and also too, for your valve stem. You know, your valve stem, over the years, I've seen people scrub too aggressively, especially with inexpensive brushes, and they damage their valve stem. This guy just gets in there, and it's really nice, and it cleans around the valve stem. And lifetime performance guarantee, you can't go wrong. It's not the cheapest brush, but again, you get what you pay for. Super nice, really nice handle, doesn't slip out of your hands. If you're a clean freak like I am, and you actually enjoy cleaning the wheels, I personally find it therapeutic, then you'll love this brush. However, if it's not in your budget, check out the AutoForge detail brush. We also sell tens of thousands of these, just like this guy. It's inexpensive, it does the job, it gets it done. It has a nice wooden handle, doesn't slip out of your hands, and this has nylon bristles that are flagged, still very soft, still very effective. I'd buy 2 of these, dedicate 1 for the wheels, and then have 1 for the interior. And really the same thing goes for this brush too. Don't cross-contaminate. Don't use this for your wheels and then clean your leather with it, and vice versa. Same thing with this one. Have 1 for inside, 1 for outside. You will not regret buying one of these brushes. All right, so recommendation time. If you've watched this far, this will give you some general guidelines of which brush is going to work best for you. So in the real world, what I would do is if a wheel is 18 inches or larger and it has big spoke openings, then I'd really recommend the Braun brush, the Wheel Woolies. These are great, they're quick and easy, you get in there. If you have wheels that maybe are a little bit smaller, like vehicles from 10 years ago or older, or if they have really narrow spokes, then I would go with the easy detail brushes because they just get in the areas. Or even like this small guy, it's great for getting in between the spokes. The easy detail brush here with these bristles that collapse, it just does a better job overall. And you'll see here, like in this Prius video, for example, I'd actually use a combination of the large easy detail and the little easy detail. This one for the bigger areas, this one for the smaller areas. So like I said, you're not gonna buy one or the other, buy them both. Or if you're in a weird application, like I mentioned about the Jetta earlier, where the space is really tight, produces a lot of brake dust, the barrel blade does a great job for getting in there and cleaning everything really well. But just for most applications, general all-purpose cleaning for various types of wheels, it's not my favorite. That doesn't mean it's not a great brush, it's still great. It's a unique tool, but again, it's just not something that you're gonna use as frequently. I already mentioned, darker colored Wheel Woolies, the Boars hair brushes, very soft, very gentle, far less expensive than having a wheel refinished or replaced. General all-purpose, especially for silver wheels or clear-coated wheels that are a lighter color. These guys, all-purpose wheel and tire brushes, short handle and long handle. SUV tires, this guy, Low profile tires, this guy. If money's not an issue, this guy for the small details, lug nuts, rim, valve stem. If you're on a budget, or if you just go with your brushes because you detail for a living, get this one. Whew, that's a lot. If you have any questions, feel free to post a comment below. I answer all questions, and shop McKee's37.com. You know, there's a lot of places to buy your car care products, but our YouTube channel, this video is funded by McKee's37.com. And most importantly, like I said, click subscribe, give me a thumbs up, take care, and God bless.